Side, lock the door. Some of you. Real spitters out there, hold tight. Yeah. Right. Heaven sent me, evidently. Positive lyrics, ever ready. Spirit charged, never empty. Devil's charms can never tempt me. The level 8 on could never dent me. The enterprise can never rent me. Keep the drive without the Bentley. INNOCENT. Truth is hard, but I speak it gently. Squeeze my shit till the clip is empty. Demons and angels, they all protect me. Goblins, goons, they all respect me. Walk in the room with the instrumentals. Superior MC skills essential. Spit with a hit quick, I was meant to. Trump your car and didn't elect you. I got drive, I will wreck you. Bank on the fat rappers, I will check you. Disrespect you, disconnect you. Bring the tech to you and who you next to. Say what you want, yo, I don't care. My crew charge in like da da da. Now you laying on the floor over there. As you can see, you're the raw right here. You would have seen it if I toured last year, but that's okay, I bring it all right here. Strictly queens, no whores in here. The doc ain't niggas, all in here. Ain't no beggars, we all got gear. Lions, chewing up the goats and the deers. You don't want truth? Close your ears. It's God, the devil's supposed to fear.
Better that you know less. Yes, better that you know less. Yes, speak better that you speak better that you speak better that you know less. Yes, better that you know less. Yes, better that you know less. Yes, speak better that you speak better that you.
This that raw from the coach's call. You want that raw? A fool, ignorance, that ain't cool. I'm flowing, getting the pool. We teach the golden rule while they hold the tool. The platinum rule while they act a fool. God is the headliner, so ignorance, KRS-One's coming after you. Straight blasting you, not asking you to pray over the body like the pastor do. To hell they dragging you. You front so hard you can't even look back at you. Your history is gone, but this is what I came back to do. Bring it back to you. You know we devour cowards when these rappers talk. We are not empowered. All they do is shouting, but they ain't master the beat. They ain't proud about it. I master the power. And I'm proud about it. The cypher's getting proud. Yeah.
Speak better that you know less. Yes, better that you know less. Yes, better that you know less. Yes, speak better that you speak better that you speak better that you know less. Yes, better that you know less. Yes, better that you know less. Yes, speak better that you speak better that you.
Street runner, beat bumper, everything hip hop we cover. Some of these rappers in a deep slumber. KRS-One, people hop. Overly everyone, you never seen a better one. I'm crazy with the letters and you dealing with a veteran. I fly like a pelican, I reign so I'm American. I'm always a gentleman, till I put the venom in. And I'm in what you hearing now is the melanin. You can see now by the stars we the better men. Temple of hip hop culture developing. Peace, love, unity we sending them. Some of these dudes go big for the letting them. So in the intro we hit them with the minimal. Alpha, Omega, beginning and ending them. Raw shit, we gonna keep on hitting them. Don't you fall for it. Don't you fall for it. Keep your head up, never let them get you fed up. You just step up, get your rep up, get your cash up, get your check up. The whole system's a setup. It's time we really get up.
How are you today?
I'm cool. And you? How are you?
I'm well. I'm waiting on my other friend. He's in here.
Okay.
He's from France. Yannick, can you click on the link? And then Saeed should be here in a minute. I tried to play
a delay.
I couldn't figure out how to get my link shared. I don't know what I was doing. I was like, what am I doing wrong?
Oh. I have a big delay when you're talking.
Okay. Yeah, so we're just gonna talk about, just the racial climate here in America and then the racial climate over in France and just take it from there. And Yannick, he lives in France, and so he'll be able to help you as far as if you don't understand what we're saying exactly, because he speaks pretty good English, but he also speaks fluent French too. Okay, Saeed's here. Oh man, my computer keeps messing up. Hey, Pete.
Hello.
Welcome to the stream of positivity. I'm waiting on Yannick. I don't know what he's doing. Are you clicking? He said he's clicking. I'm not sure what's going on. Here, let me put it in there again. Let me see. Click that link. Oh, you have to download Chrome. Okay, he has to download Chrome. So if you want to go ahead and let's see, we have Sabrina Solitude and we have Saeed. And today we're going to discuss just the climate, the racial climate in America and France. And so I'm basically just going to be here and let you all talk. And I mean, I can jump in every now and then. But whoever wants to start out until he gets in here, he's downloading Chrome. So that might take a few minutes. Can you hear?
Yes.
I have a big delay when you're talking.
You have a delay? Let me put my
Yes.
earbud in. Maybe that's it. Is that better?
I just heard my voice.
Do you have something else open, like another YouTube?
No.
Yeah, I had to close mine. I see that happens if you have 2 pages open.
You want to go out and come back in?
Wait. I think it's okay now.
You think it's okay?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. I can hear you fine.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. Okay. Now I hear an echo. Okay, here's Yannick.
Okay.
Hey. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Somebody has two things open. Now I hear an echo. Okay, here's Yannick. Hey. It's Yannick. I muted you because you have 2 things open on your screen. Wait a minute. Did you close it? Okay, you're good now. And now I hear a little bit. Do you have 2 things open?
No.
Can everybody hear everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
They have some echo.
You have an echo? Somebody's got 2 things open, I think.
I don't have any.
Let me see. Okay. What about now?
For me, it's good.
Echo?
No.
No, that's
Okay.
good.
All right, we're good. Okay. So, yeah, Yannick, I was just telling them that we are just going to be discussing just the racial climate here in America, as well as where you all are in France. And where are you from in France again, Yannick?
Okay, I'm from a small town, and I still have the echo when you're talking. I'm hearing you about 1,000 times.
Okay, what I'm going to do is mute everybody's mic while he's talking.
Okay. I'm from a very small town called... Oh, wait. Just I will just close a window.
Okay, yeah, I think it might have been you. It's okay. We'll figure it out.
Yes, I'm here. Yes. I'm from a very small town in the middle of France. It's called Limoges.
Okay. I should be able to unmute everybody now, I think. Okay. Sabrina, are you familiar with that town where he's from?
Yeah, I know the town, and I'm not so far. I'm from a small town near well-known one in France called Lyon, like a lion, but you can't write the same. So my town is really small. It's more like campaign, not a big city. And I'm the only one. My family are the only one black here, black people. Yeah.
Okay. And Saeed, you want to introduce yourself?
How you doing? I'm from the Washington D.C. metro area. Was born and raised here, and so I guess you say I'm representing the Washington D.C. The city of the government.
You're representing the government.
Well
I guess I'm representing the country because I'm from Kentucky. So we've got all aspects in here. So how is it? So I'm just going to start off with a question. How is it in France as far as the racial climate there? Whoever wants to go first, you, Yannick, or Sabrina?
I want to hear Yannick first.
Okay. Let me unmute you. Okay, you're good.
Okay. What was your question?
How is the racial climate there where you live in France?
Wow. Oh, it's very, very, very tough. How can I explain the racial issues there? I will start just in the week. In the past week, I've got a friend who's living now in Réunion. The Réunion is an island in the ocean, Indian Ocean, and it's a quiet island where everybody lives together. And when he came here, he heard very, very, very often things about racial problem. I think when I grew up, there is less racial problem. The atmosphere is more and more complicated, and as you see, I'm white. I don't have the issue, but I'm seeing it. There is I think the problem getting stronger and stronger.
Okay. So basically, what I took from what you said is you have a friend that moved there and is having a hard time.
Yes.
Okay. Because of what's going on over there, or
yes.
So what's going on over in France where you are?
I think when I grew up, being a racist was an insult. Now that's a quality, I guess. And in the media, we see more and more people talking about racist things. A former president in a show said the N-word, and nobody say, "Oh my gosh, stop it." So that's a real issue right now, and it has to stop really quick. And I'm very upset about that, and it's gonna be a real problem with presidential election next year. It's gonna be more and more, I guess.
Okay, so you're saying that your president in France said
Former
that?
president.
Former president. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, Sabrina, what are your thoughts?
So as a black woman, I was born in Caribbean, West Indies, Martinique. I came in France. I was 2 years old. I've been raised in a suburb where most of immigrants used to be parked here in France, or are still parked here in France. So we've not been integrated in the Republic dream, you know, like equality, equality, and friendship. The three words that define, which define the French Republic. So, in my opinion, I agree with Yannick when he said racist was a kind of insult. I have to say more that it was hidden. It was not really an insult, but it was hidden from everyone because, you know, France has this picture of the land where you can come easily, work, and live happy. We have no American dream, but it was the French way of life, if I could say this. But what I can say, in my opinion, racism doesn't exist in France. Let me explain you what I can say about it. In my opinion, slavery never ended in France till the end of slavery. So it's not racism, it's a state of mind which allows government and a lot of people to consider that immigrants, in particular Black people, you know, are still enslaved. So our rights are not really considered. Our skills are not really considered. What you can do as a human being is not considered. You are considered if you dance good, if you're a good dancer, if you're a good athlete, but you can't be smart if you're Black or maybe Arab, if I can speak for the other immigrants. So to explain that, you have to consider the history of West Indies, which is a far away town from France, okay? But we are considered as French people, okay? So at the end of slavery, the difference between you and us, so one day someone told you, you can go free and do your business, you know, something like that. You're Afro-American. But for us, at the end of the slavery, they told us, now you are French. You're not Afro-French, you're just French people. So we are going to associate you in our state, even if you are living 1,000 and 1,000 kilometers from us. But consider you as French people. But you're going to work harder for us. We are going to tax you the more we can, you know, for you to pay for stuff which are going from France, and you are still going to work for the ancient master. So the master stays still in Caribbean, and we had to work for him and for his son and for his grandson, etc., etc. And in the meantime, you know, they poisoned us, and they want to dictate this community how to be French. So we were not allowed to speak our language. It was forbidden. We were not allowed to you know, just to be Black as Black people living in West Indies. So some of these things change, but you know, they call our grandparents to come in France to be a big strength the strength to build France, but no consideration at all anyway. So now, yes, people, they just feel really comfortable to speak to you, you know, like you can be a nigger, you can be whatever, you know, but you're not like them. So that's the issue today, because we had white people fighting in a certain way against us, but nowadays we have Arab people who starting to liberate the voice, because they were in our history as Black people the first slave master, you know, to the Black people. So you can hear, you know, we had these issues. Excuse me, I speak long
No, you're
time,
fine.
but we had this issue with Arab boy, you know, who was talking to a sister because she was witnessed a fight because a brother had been hit by this boy, and she started to film the Arab boy, and he was yelling at our sister like, you know, we were enslaved you for 800 years, and we've been selling you like corn, and you're just piece of shit, and you are smelling shit, etc., and on and on and on for 3 minutes, you know. So it was recorded, and this issues leads to another one, to another one, to another one, to a brother who've been killed by 3 people. And you know, now we are starting to put this issue for everybody to see, and it was not the situation before. Before, we didn't know as Black people that, you know, we have so many issues. We knew that we were not liked, but we didn't knew that there were so many. So now, you know, every Black people in France who considered that they were integrated, that they were French people, that they deserve the same rights, you know, they start to consider that our story here in France was not the good one that they thought.
Okay. That was a good explanation. So what do you say, Saeed?
I say it's technology. I say that none of us that have any type of melanated skin have any kind of freedom worldwide. You know, I say that we've been in the matrix or in the illusions, and it's been going on for a long, long time. You know, we all, you know, when you hear the stories, no matter where you go on the planet, the stories are the same. You know, the darker your skin or the more you're unrelated to the original Caucasian, the more you've been oppressed. You know, I mean, the stories sound the same. I mean, here in America, we supposed to had freedom for what, 300 some years. We did 300 some years of slavery and supposed to be free for 100 some years. But yet we still have nothing to show for it. I mean, even the simplest things. We have no factories, we have no warehouses, we have no hospitals, we have no schools, we have nothing that shows any type of support of self. So hearing your story, I was just sitting there thinking that it's the same story as we have. It might be a different language. It's a different language. It's a different oppressor. You know, your oppressor is French when our oppressor is English, but it's still a oppressor. You know, I heard a person talk one time and he said that all you have to do is look at the different languages of the planet and you can relate to who oppressed you. And the language is your oppressor. You know, you go to certain parts of Africa, they speak French. Certain parts of Africa speak English. Certain parts of Africa speak whatever. That shows your oppression. And whatever your oppression dictated onto you is who you had to become in order to fulfill your obligations in that area. Not to talk about the shot, but it's hard not to talk about that. Even in regards to the shot that they're going around, you see how they're pushing it. You see the narratives that are being pushed. You know, Malcolm X was one of his famous words was technology, and it's really what it is. You know, we're being tricked into a systematic way, you know, and the only way to stop it is through truth and through unity.
Yeah. You're talking about the COOF, right?
Yes, the coup.
Yeah.
That's the name for that. If you want to say that, you just say the COOF or the sheep's milk.
Yeah.
And if I can add something, you know, our reality, you can find this reality today in the story of a brother. I don't forget the name. I will tell you after if I remember. He lives in West Indies. Okay, there is Martinique and Guadeloupe. So he wants to build to open a school, a Pan-Africanist one, for his own community in his island. And he received the letter, so disagree from the government. And the response was because they fear for I would say it's a threat for the society, because we are going to be all with us and no one else, and they don't want us to be educated by us with our story because they feel like it's a threat. So it's just amazing that in your own island, for your people, you can't open a school to educate in your story, you know, your own child.
Yeah.
Can I say something to that?
Yeah.
Okay. I saw on the comments about the myth about France, and because
Is
of
this one it right here?
yeah.
I don't even know what it says. What does it say?
It's a friend of mine, but it's it's about the French myth about the society, the united society. So with say, okay, we all equal, so you can be different, but I agree with Sabrina, and because of that's not afraid, that's a strength, and they fear about difference, because they want equality, not equity.
Okay.
Equality does not exist.
Of course, but it's
so there's no equality, there's no equity. You know, as long as we're going to stay under the regard of white people, there will be no equality, no equity. And that's why they say no, because they don't want us to take a step back to build our own story right now.
yeah,
you know?
of course. That's what I said. That's the real problem.
Yeah.
I
agree with Saeed. I was just writing some stuff down before I came here. I was just thinking racial climate back then versus now. You know, like back in the 20s and 30s and 50s and 60s, whatever. And like back then, you couldn't pick who you worked for. You had no benefits, no technology. There was division. We couldn't read. And then versus now, we can pick who we work for, but it's really the same thing as back then. You just have a choice who you get to work for. We get some benefits. We have access to technology. We can now read, but there's still division. We're getting killed by the police at a large rate. So it's kind of like we're still, like you said, Sabrina, we're still in slavery, but it's just different levels to it.
Exactly. There's a group who called it slavery, neuro-colonization, you know, the brain colonized. It's a new state of colonization. But in my opinion, it's slavery.
Mental or physical. See, the thing about mental or physical is that in order to physically enslave you, it takes manpower. To mentally enslave you, it allows you to enslave yourself. If I teach you how to hate yourself and how to hate, and hating yourself, you hate everything that represents or resembles you. The power, the greatest thing that is taken from us in the very, very beginning was our name, because your name associated with your origination. It associates you with your language, your whatever spiritual system or whatever religious system that you had. So when they dissociated from our names, they separated from any entity of existence. And we're still there the same today. We're force-fed everything that fits a European agenda, but a European agenda doesn't fit the world. The world has many different segments. So we still go back into being technology, into the matrix, into self-denial, self-hatred, a lack of self-worth. Power was in truth. The devil was the arch deceiver. And the devil's done everything. The devil and the rulership of demons or devils, which I don't see as a spiritual back, is based.
Oh, he froze. Uh-oh.
It's cute.
I don't know
but
what
it's
happened.
gross.
I don't know what happened.
It's fine.
There you are. You're back.
Yes. It's all based on lies. It's all based on fear. And the greatest thing is unity. I mean, it really is very simple. If we can just come together in a unified force as a people of truth, things would change instantly. You know, and the greatest thing is love. I mean, when you think about it, you know, when you think about us as a race of people, and I'm talking about all people at this point, you know, not just saying black people at this point. When you think about us as a race of people, and you think about love, you know, you think about all of the major religions, the source of them are love. All of the major religions, from Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, it's all based on love, peace and love. And when you have peace and love, you get equity, you get equality, you get justice, you get all those things. But when you have a small segment of the planet that deems to control the whole planet, they're going to do everything they can to keep you in a life of deception, a life of lies. So we're all lied to. You know, we could bring people in here from every part of this planet, and it's the same thing. Sometimes I watch TV and I see, like, you go to a Japanese station, the lighter Japanese are on TV when the dark Japanese are not. They're mistreated. You know, no matter where you're going to plan, it's the same process. So truth is going to be the key to everything. But then you have levels to truth. And we have to get out of our opinions and get into dealing with logic.
Exactly. And that's why, you know, I live in France, but I always say I'm not French. And that's why, you know, for people who live in Martinique or Guadeloupe, who these two islands are considered as French, you know, French territories. I think French people, you know, white people, I will more say French white people, can do nothing for us, for me, in my opinion. And let me tell you why. Because when I think about unity, I think about unity in my community to build something. Because as we said, we are in a kind of matrix. If you want to consider what we have to do now, we can't consider who is, in my opinion, for me, I can't consider who are next to me if you're not from my community, because you will not do, you could not do something for me because you didn't have my experience. You can see something and you can feel, you know, like it disturbs you to see, but you will never feel what I felt. You will never understand in your flesh, in your bone, in your mind, what I've been experiencing. You can only think about it with your brain. So my unity today consists to explain my people in France, as now we can see and we can learn about what happened to us, you know, to explain that, yeah, you can be a black owner here. Okay, nowadays you can have this chance, you can do something, you can work for yourself, because there's many ways to reach your goal. But at the end of the day, you don't know if your kid's gonna have the same chance. You don't know. So we have to build something apart, not here in France, somewhere else in our island, maybe in Africa mostly, you know. So in French, the issue is it's your country. It's a white country for white people. And it's not our country. We've been raised in the mind that in the illusion that we are French. So in a certain way, we were white inside but black outside.
Yeah.
And it was the worst that happens to us because we never been French. Never. So yes, I salute. Yes, I'm okay with most of white people who now consider that our history here in French with you guys was not so easy for us. But you can't do nothing for us because it's your country and you live in this country. It was so particular to ask, you know, when we started to put down the statue in our island, most of people were not agree with that, you know. But how can you walk in your own island and see someone who enslaved you and been celebrated, you know? So when it starts in the Caribbean, it goes everywhere. There were statues, you know. So we had to say stop now. And we don't have the time to speak to every white people, you know. You can understand because you have friend, black friend, I don't know. But you're not the only one in France. And we don't have the time to speak to everyone and say, hey, you know, we are still enslaved by you. And, you know, I don't want to be enslaved. So now I will not consider it your opinion. I want to unify my people to do something and to raise, you know, as a nation, even if I live here in France and you're in the United States, someone is in Brazil, etc., etc. So the racial issue nowadays in French, in my opinion, is this. The issue is not that we are beaten or killed or treated like a piece of shit. The issues is to consider that now we have to do something because we are not white inside and black outside. We are black inside, black outside. So get out of your dream. This is the issue for black people here in France, to wake up.
Okay. So what do you have to say about that, Yannick? Here, and have you heard people? I know you have black friends over there.
Yeah.
Have you heard the same things come from them? And
most of my friends are not only black; they are only very white people. There is black people, but all that I'm listening to from black people are the same. What Sabrina told, and they're taking. They're trying to do something right now, and that's the major the major change, I guess. Now, black people are saying enough is enough, and that I think it's the real change. The problem is that white people like me, but I'm white, and the establishment don't want to give up that power on people. You're white saying that is slavery. why there is racism. I think, like Rokhaya Diallo, that racism is about money. It's you're white, that is slavery. It's to pay less, because to divide and to pay less. So you can, and I guess the real issue is there.
So you think it's about money?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
What do you say to that, Sabrina?
I will say, like James Baldwin said. He said something I'm going to try to explain in English. He said this thing. Someone who take power over you is someone who's, by the way you look at you, defined who you are. Okay. So when you give a definition of me which is untrue, and I want to give you back my real definition, so you're going to think that my fight is useless because I have more to lose than you. That in fact you have more to lose than me. And it's not a question of money. Nowadays maybe it transformed in money, but the real issue about it was power. Just power. I want to take the power over you. So when I say we've been raised like we were white inside and black outside, we were, for white people, the justification to say I'm not racist because I have a black friend or a black girlfriend or whatever. I don't want to be the one hidden in your pocket. And it's not a question of money.
Token.
So money now, capitalism is everywhere, okay. But the power you think you have over us, over me, that's what you don't want to let it go. You want to keep it. You just want to keep it. Look in Africa, look in Caribbean, it's not a question of money at the first place. When the colonizer came into West Indies the first time, with Columbus and all these people, when they look at us, they say, oh, they are hunting, they agriculture, sculpture, and they don't know fight. They don't know what's war. So it's going to be really easy for us to take power over them. There were no gold, there were nothing. They just wanted to take the power over us. So when they exterminate everyone, they go to Africa to take more people to work for them. So we African people and Tainos, Caribous, Arawak mixed with African. That's how we were born as West Indies people, Caribbean people, So they exterminate everyone and they just let African people, So it was a question of power because there were nothing in the island for them to take advantage of. We were just a place where they came from, take a rest and go back, to transport gold from another place. Period. Okay. Money is the definition they give nowadays for the power they want to keep.
What do you have to say, Saeed?
I say that King James, who financed Columbus to start his journeys of captivity, said that we were savages, we were heathens, we were uncivilized. And it wasn't about money, it was about hatred of people of color. So the very birth of racism, or the very birth of slavery, wasn't as much based on finances. It was just based on hatred and fear. And that's an issue that I think some people go past. Supposedly when they came to America, they were already Indians here, so you didn't need to bring people here to be slaves. You could have just kept the people that were here already and made them slaves. It's a deep embedded hatred from the forefathers that started this propaganda called slavery. I don't think it's as simple as just money. I think money is a part of it per se, but I think it's just a deep embedded hatred. The ruling class or the founding fathers, whatever you call it, they have a hatred for melanated people. It's just that simple. They are the duality of melanated people. It's just that simple. Fear causes anger, and anger causes the things that we see today.
Right.
King James, who most of us go by his Bible and so forth, but you got to remember his own personal words. He's the one who financed this thing. He's the one. To say you're a heathen, you're uncivilized. To say that you're not human, that you deserve everything that was done upon you. Some books claim that in the 400 years of the slave trade, over 250 million Africans died in the slave trade. 250 million. Some people, I see a lot of younger people now that will be the scholars. They're talking about numbers much smaller, but 250 million people died in the last 400 some years. Melanated people. That's not just money. That's hatred. That's fear. The Bible says, honor their parents that your days may be long. Well, what parents was it talking about? Let's break this down. What parents? Who was here first and who was here second? So who's parent of who? And who is being told to respect your elder? So it's not just finances. Finances plays a role because you go into greed. Isn't greed part of wickedness? But it still goes into fear and hatred, anger. Maybe the original man was hated by the newer man. And he was hated so much that all the newer man wanted to do was to destroy.
Yeah. It's a lot of ways to look at it. It is. I know I have several white friends and black friends, so I'm just now coming into a lot of this information as far as the truth that they call the truth or whatever. So like I said, when I had sat down and wrote down what went on back then versus what's going on now, it hasn't seemed to change at all. And it doesn't seem like it's ever going to change. Like it's just going to keep on like repeating itself every so many 1,000 years or 100 years or whatever it is, unless I guess we do something to change it. That's the only thing that I can think of, because otherwise it's just going to keep on repeating and repeating and repeating. We can talk about the stuff all day, but what can we actually do to change it?
That's why I said French white people can do nothing for us. They can realize the context, the racial issues, but as far as I can remember from when I was a little child, I used to hear people saying, I'm not racist. I'm not racist. But none of them never did something. It starts in your family when you hear your uncle saying a bad, laughing for about a story against Arabs or black or whatever, So when you hear French people, everyone is cool, everyone is open, everyone likes everyone. Yes. Because the first thing you say when something happened, hey, look, I'm not racist. I'm not racist. So it's not going to change by the end of those who claim they are not racist. I have no animosity, no anger about the Caucasian, I will say like that, the Caucasian. But I know, it's going to change because we first want to change. It's like slavery in Caribbean never end because of shelter. It's written in your book, but in Caribbean, we knew that we were free. We took our freedom 2 years before you said, yeah, you can go free. And it was for economic reason because the French state feared what we were able to do, because we were in a point where women, children, men, we don't even care about it. If we have to kill, we were ready to kill everyone for this freedom. So every time we had to do something, we did by our own. Even if some helped us a little bit, excuse me for the little bit, but that's how I feel, So nowadays, I think it's gonna change, my sister. I think it's gonna change because when I say I love you, my sister, I love you, my brother, it's something I feel, and we are feeling it today. That's the major change. We feel this love because, your pain overseas is my pain. And maybe the media helped us to be more connected in that feeling that I care for you because we are one in this family. And that's why we are not looking at the other community, because they can't feel what I feel when I heard about my brother Ozone or George Floyd or, Amo Abri or whatever. And when you heard about what happened here in France with Youssoufa, you said, oh my God, in France too. And you feel something, So that's why it's going to change. It's going to change. And then we're going to build a new, let me say, state of mind, because we are going to change the white mind too. There's no issues. There's no other way for them to change their mind if we are succeeded. And I'm not saying they're going to like us, but they're going to change their mind. I don't know how they're going to be because I'm not white, but I truly know that they are going to change their mind.
Okay. You have anything to say, Yannick or Sai?
It has to change. You're right. It has to change.
Yeah.
I think the more the fight is good, the more the consequences are strong. And that's why. But by nature, I'm optimistic. So I really hope it will change. And the state of mind will change too.
Okay.
Same. We are all the same. Our state of mind is the same. Different century, different situation.
Yes.
The struggle is changing, but our state of mind, I think, is the same when we want to change. So the only state of mind who's going to change is yours. That's what I said. Yeah.
God bless the
I think
child
it's
has his
good
own.
to talk about. Yeah. I
Right.
think it's good to talk about it too, though. You know, even though talking, we've done so much talking, but I think just the fact of talking about it with other people that are not the same race as us, and to get their perspective and also our perspective, it helps just to know. Because, like, you know, like you said, I don't have any animosity towards anybody, and I'm all for positivity, and I don't want any negativity or anything like that. And I do have white friends, I have black friends, I have Hispanic friends, I have all kinds of different friends. But I do know that we have to work on ourselves in order to fix ourselves. I do know that.
My reality is different.
I have a
My reality is a little
question.
different. My reality at 55 years old, I haven't had one white person in my life in 55 years that stayed true and blue the whole 55 years. That's my personal reality. My reality is that it says God blesses the child has his own, which means that before we can do anything as a melanated people, we must first turn to each other, turn to self, and raise ourselves independently, and then be confronted with other people, as everybody else has done. If you look at China, they shut their doors to the world. Now they're world power. Look at Japan, shut their doors to the world. Now they're world power. And they can be respected by other powers of the world. Because if you don't have it for yourself, you can't give to anyone else. I'm not anti-white. I am pro-black. But what I understand is that you can't bring 10 people into a party and try to deal with one issue. It just doesn't work like that. You know, you need to deal with your own issues, and then you can be respected as a human being. See, at this point, black people are not even looked at as human beings. We're looked at around the world as animals, as less than. You know, the system of white supremacy is a system. It is taught white people that are better than you, and it's taught black people that we are less than them. So you can't that don't fit each other. So first, black people had to find their own self-worth and self-love so they could come up on a level beside and feel good enough to be able to deal with white people. But you can't deal with somebody when you see yourself as less than them subconsciously. So we first have to turn inside ourselves and build our own self-love, self-worth. Then we can be respected. Because once you become enough of self-love and self-worth, you don't ask for things, you take things. White people didn't ask you to be their slave. They made you their slave. White people don't ask you to do anything. They make you do whatever they choose you to do. But we sit around and we beg and we plead and we talk and we march and we protest, but we don't take. And it's never going to change. The other thing I want to say is that earlier when we were talking about, you said it was going to keep repeating, it's going to keep repeating. There's a time for everything. There are prophetic prophecies that have been talked about for thousands of years. There are dates and there are times, there are teachings that call for all this to have been done in a proper order for proper purposes. And those days have come to an end. The time for the wicked rulership is at an end. That's why they have the milk. That's why they're trying to push the milk so hard right now. That's why the milk is here. That's why the milk is not just killing people of color, it's killing all people. Because you have the elitists that are trying to wipe out the bulk of this planet, period. So the sheep's milk, yes, the milk, which is destroying many people. That sheep's milk it's deadly.
That sheep's milk will give you the coof.
Yes, it will. It's very deadly. And that has a purpose. You know, that has a purpose as well. You know, people don't really understand, like, for example, I don't know how many people that are familiar with Metu Neter, which is the hieroglyphics. The hieroglyphics talks about prophecies, and the hieroglyphics is completed 6,000 years ago. And it talks about many of these things that are occurring right now were talked about then. They were talked about by elders. These days will come. For 6,000 years, we've been under oppression, under a oppressive rulership. For 6,000 years, the earth has been ruled in an unnatural manner. And it's time for the end. It's not just time for the end by us being tired. It's time for the end because it was prophesied to end at a certain time. So that's why so many people are waking up now. You know, 15 years ago, we wouldn't have been on here talking this way.
Right.
what we are now. That's why many people are waking up. Many people are eating different and living different and thinking different. That's why we have the milk. The milk is trying to offset the consciousness rise of the planet. We're going to the fifth dimension. We're in the age of the Aquarius, the age of truth. So they had to come up with the coup. They couldn't wait no longer. There's no option because we're becoming too much conscious right now. So they have to come out with other tactics of war. So
The
yeah,
sheep's milk. They gotta get
sheep
it
milk.
in us.
Yes, it's the sheep milk, and it's definitely doing some harm. I feel sorry for everybody who has got in line for it. I really truly do.
Right.
I feel sorry for everybody who is getting in line today and tomorrow and the next week to get it. I truly do. Because it's one thing to be a person, it's another thing to be a sheeple. And too many of us, we do no thinking for self. So we still go back to the same thing: self-knowledge, self-worth, self-love. When you don't think for self, you'll do anything. And that coof, as you say, that sheep milk is terrible. It's terrible. It really is.
Don't take the sheep's milk because it will give you the coof.
Yes,
Okay.
it will. Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Why is it just coming out now? Why didn't you bring it out 10 years ago? It's patent saying they've been working this technology for a long time. They've been working on the sheep's milk, the coof, for a long time. Why did they just do it now? They could have did it 10 years ago. Let's be honest. Why now? You know, because I had to question things. You know what I mean? I try to always question over question over question. You could have did it 5 years ago. Could have did it 10 years ago. You know, you got videos of Gates talking about it 5, 6 years ago. You got Obama talking about it years ago. Why they didn't do it then? Why now? Why at this time? But maybe because they know that this time is the end. They're at the end of their reign. So when you're at the end of your reign, you really bring out all, no strings. You just go all out, right? If you fighting somebody, you about to lose. You just say, "Oh, well, I ain't got nothing left. I might just go everything I have." And I think that's why it's out now. I think there's a change coming, and nobody can stop the change. I think the change is physical and mental and spiritual, and it can't be stopped. No matter how much milk they put out, no matter how much lies they put out, how much they shut down and they do, it is by destiny that the end of the wicked to rule.
Yeah. That sheep's milk is no joke, man.
No, it's not.
Like, really.
I have a question for Yannick.
All right. I'm listening to you.
Yes, because you said in France we have racial issue. You noticed that.
Yes.
Okay. And you spoke about it through the eyes of your friend. Maybe there are some black friends.
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So, do you believe that if you didn't have any black friends, you could say the same thing? You would have been able to say the same thing?
You could be honest. We all cool. We ain't gonna
Yeah,
kill you.
I know. I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I know you're cool. Yeah. There's first, I can't. It's hard to me to answer the question because I grew up with with black people, with from North Africa, with Asian. But how I grew up, because I'm lucky my parents met a lot of people, so there was discussion about it from in the 80s. My parents had friends, so I can't. But now I with the media, information about that issue came to me, and I'm a curious guy, and I'm watching about that issue because I think it's in my state of mind to be equity. That's make me out of my mind when I see inequity.
Okay.
Okay.
But no, go ahead.
I don't know the English words, but you talked about the uncle, the racist uncle. I had a stepfather who is racist. I say stop right now. You stop, and he say no. Why? And that make them laugh. But I have also white friends who are making joke about race, and they don't know. I say, okay, stop. Why are you saying that? They told me bullshit, and I said, okay, you don't know. You don't know what you're talking about. Have you read this? Do you know this? And okay, there's no friend anymore. I say, okay, you don't want to understand the world. Okay, no problem. Stay out of my business.
Okay. So yeah. Excuse me.
No problem. But now people are more saying that things. I think they are more racist here. I don't know how do you feel about that, but maybe they don't want to make racist code with you because they are scared of what you think. But I am French. They don't know who am I, what I'm think, but my clients was saying things. I was scared, really scared. It's things that 10 years ago nobody said that. I think it's increasing.
If I can say something, okay, you look something who want to question himself about the situation, etc. But why I ask you this question and I hear what you answer me back, because when you talk about racial issue through the eyes of someone who experienced these issues, it's exactly what I've been saying earlier. If you can't feel it, you can't. You just can experience it through the eyes of someone, because your friend are speaking about things that happening today, but because you met all these people all your life right now.
Yeah.
If I truly understand, so you knew we experience so much in racism because you are in every community who are oppressed. So now you're an adult. So with all these experiences, if you can't only speak about it because you heard about the racial tension, there is it's tense, a big tension nowadays.
Yeah.
It's like all the things that you have experienced with your friends who were speaking about their own issues. You know, it was just a fact or something that, you know, it happened in France, and you know that people who were not used to say I'm racist, now they can speak about it because nobody cares. But speaking about it, when you know that in nowadays a racist person can speak free in television and radio or whatever, so you don't need your friends to understand that there is a racial issues nowadays. You need your friends to understand that some communities are ready to do something about it, but not to feel and to know that there is a racial issues. So I always to my kids and to people, words we choose are really important.
Yeah.
So I invite you, if you have to speak to someone again about it, you know, honestly, I don't care. As I said, my community is the more for me, but for you, for yourself, if you have to speak about it, don't speak about it through the eyes of your friends, but through your own perspective, because your mind has to change, as we said earlier again, not ours. We are just organizing for the next step for us. So we are ready since the early age of humanity, you know.
Okay. I agree. I agree. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. I never
good,
knew I
though.
will say thank you to a white person today, but thank you.
But yeah, it's always good to, like you said, to speak it through your own perspective versus somebody else's eyes. So I get what you're saying as far as the next time somebody, one of your friends, Yannick or whatever, says whatever they say, you speak from
The
your
most
perspective.
embarrassing is at work.
Yeah.
I see by my eyes.
Yeah.
My new boss is a black woman, so she had, she had.
No, it's your.
What?
No, you did with your eyebrow.
Yeah, my former boss never helped her. She has very, very, very ton of struggle on her way. It's such a shame. So she's good, she's a great person, and nobody helps her. Nobody. Just because.
Would you say your former boss?
I changed my boss.
Oh,
My
okay.
former
Good
boss
job.
was a white man, and my new one is a black woman.
Oh, okay. And you said that nobody helps her.
Yeah, and trying to stop her to be amazing. Okay, she's an amazing person, and all the company is trying to do is to stop her. But she's good, so she has to increase in the company.
And that's what they do, though. Because I've seen that happen.
Yeah, I saw I heard tons of things. I say, oh, come on, guys. You know you can go to jail with that? They say, oh, come on. What are you doing, man? I say, okay. But that's a racist thing.
Yeah. What do you have to say, Si? You about to say something? I can see it.
and
I'm gonna have to turn off my camera and mute my mic.
You know,
Speak about the milk.
And understanding ancient teachings and trying to apply theories of ancient teachings to today. And listening to, I remember I heard Muhammad Ali say something to the fact that if I saw 100 snakes come down the hill, am I to not kill any of them? Because how do I know which ones are poisonous and which ones aren't? And I also look at some of the things I've heard about, like this, you grew up around black people, so your nature is different. You've learned from nature and not from books, not from radio, not from TV, not from media. You've learned from actual experiences, which is good. You know, I think Muhammad, the writer of the bearer of the Quran, was probably similar to the same thing. He was a pure white man. And I'm sure it was the same thing. His nature was different because he spent time around people, melanated people. But in general, when you look at the planet, I've been to like maybe 6, 7 different countries. I've been from California to Florida. And everywhere I go, I see the same thing. I see white supremacy. I see subconscious white supremacy. And that's the biggest issue, is that we have all these conversations and you hear so many people talk, but we talk on the conscious level, which is 30% of the brain, and not on the subconscious level, which is the mass of thought. You know, on the subconscious level, when you are taught that you are inferior, and then on the other side, you're taught you're superior, it's hard to find any kind of balance in there. That's just the way it is. So I hear you when you talk about the black woman and the black boss, but at the same time, I sit down sometime and I listen to so many different people. I try to like really, really listen to everybody. If I like them or not, I try to listen to everybody. But I find that we're still beating around the bush. You know, we're still beating around the bush. We have a oppressor system in effect that has to be destroyed, has to be stopped. Period. We can't talk about it. We can't cry about it. We can't. It don't matter. The whole system that we live under has to be stopped. When you said earlier, you started talking about France and you say you had to leave France. I don't consider myself American if I was born here. Because what I consider myself is Aboriginal to the planet. I am Aboriginal to the planet. There's no one on the planet that I can't call home. If I'm the first one that was put on this planet, then I'm an Aboriginal to the planet. So when I look at everything that's going on and everything I see, and I see that it's all one issue. You have to stop the white supremacy in totality. And it's not, you know, conversations are fine. But at the end of the day, it's going to probably take more than conversation. It really is. You know, I mean, I feel good that you're on here. You know, you're on here with 3 black people and you're a white guy. And that's cool, you know. I understand what you're saying. You grew up around black people, so you understand us to a different level of the masses. I'm sure that you go through a lot of hell as well in dealing with your other white peers and white friends. I'm sure sometimes you're put in the box. You know, I'm sure sometimes you're castrated, you know. And but at the same time, I'm castrated every day of my life with every breath I take.
I know.
You know, every day of my life is a form of oppression. From the time I open my eyes to probably the time I close my eyes, it's a form of oppression. And unless this system is totally destroyed, things are not going to be any different. We can't try to manipulate and we're going to get in the government, we're going to vote a change. How can you vote a change to a wicked system? Because cleanliness and dirtiness cannot be in the same space. If your house is clean or your house is dirty. So in the same sense, right and wrong can't be in the same space. Either it's right or it's wrong. And the systems that we have that are oppressing this whole world are wrong. And they have to be stopped. They have to be destroyed. They have to be ended in order for us to have a change. And I think that time is coming. I think that right now you find so many white people that talk the way they talk and act the way they act simply because we're in a shift change, a planetary shift change. Some people call it the 5th dimension. Some people call it the 25,000-year cycle. Some people call it the age of Aquarius. But it's forcing everybody to come out with their truths. So if you're racist inside, your truths are coming out more. You know, and
Or they're gonna come out. The year ain't over yet.
Yes, they're coming out more, and that's going to force change. And change is going to be something that most of us are going to be very uncomfortable with. And that's just the way it is. We were uncomfortable to get put into slavery. It wasn't just say a pretty thing. It wasn't a voted thing. It was a made thing. And we had to make the system go down. Sometimes I sit down and I hear, I see a lot of people, not saying you per se, but I see a lot of white people saying how they're not racist, but you make great babies. And I say, well, when you say you're not racist, but I make great babies, you just separate yourself from me. That's a form of racism. That's why I'm saying people don't understand how deep the psychology of racism is embedded into our psyche.
That's what, look.
Yeah.
You know, as you said earlier,
Look.
they want you to be they have melanated skin with a white mind. That doesn't work for me.
I'm a beach with them. I'm just playing.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's time for this system to be destroyed. And I think that
he does talk good though in this.
I think that nature is helping to destroy this system. You know, I think that right now, for all of the Caucasians or whatever white people that you want to do, for them not to make the change and to get on the bandwagon and get along with the righteous side, going to perish. And not perish by the hands of me, but perish by nature. Because there's a thing called karma. You know, for 6,000 years, white people have been oppressing black people. Most people don't even want to talk about this. 6,000 years since the white man has been on this planet, he has been oppressing the black man and woman. And now it's going to come to an end. It was given a date. 666 stands for 6,000 years of rulership, 60 years of grace period. You know, and that's over with now. So for you and all of the white people who nature is becoming changed, y'all got to go out there and help change the rest to earn the right to be able to make it into the next land or the next season or the next section of this planet. Because if not, gonna perish. It's like all of us house iggers. I don't know if I can say the other word on here. All us house iggers. Better make a change and break it either. All of us sleep people. All of us are taking the cow's milk or the coof and going through all those things. Yeah, the sheep's milk, you know. Don't realize that that's part of biblical prophecy. That's the mark of the beast. It's part of biblical prophecy. Because all these people who run around talking about they're so religious and they love God so much, but yet they fear the word of man over the word of God. So they run out here taking that sheep's milk. Yes. And now they got some traumatic things going on. But where was the heart? Where was the heart and the belief in their Christianity and their Catholicism and their Buddhism and their Hinduism and their Islamism? Where was the belief to say, "Nah, I'm good"? It wasn't there. God then. Yeah, where was their God? Dipped out. Yeah.
God got the sheep's milk and got the coof.
Yes. Yeah. So I understand that the earth itself is forcing change. It don't matter what you want. It doesn't matter what you want, what you feel. It doesn't matter about emotion, because emotion is an animal state of man. It's what's happening. So you can either get with the program or get left behind. That's just the way it is now.
Yeah. Because things are appearing, When I said we are still enslaved, the 29th of July, the director of ARS, it's an agency for the self-care, something like that, in Guadeloupe, said that we refuse in Caribbean the vaccination because we are doing too much, we are practicing too much voodoo, and we drink too much. So if you took a look at in our story where we were enslaved, voodoo was forbidden. It was our religion.
That was that was ours.
Yeah. So when you do the link between this word and what we've been experienced, so it's like we are still slaves, and they are taking the same words they had for us while we were enslaved. Yes. So this is the racial issue we are dealing with and we are fighting against, and that which you white people don't know, and now you have to realize if you want for yourself to do something. This is the issue. This is why you can feel a kind of You think it's anger. In our perspective, it's determination. You understand? So we can't be treating in 2021 as slave again, saying that, yeah, you are practicing voodoo, so you don't want the vaccine, because they block the track. They don't
The
want the
sheep's
track.
milk, Sabrina. The sheep's milk. We can't say the other word. It's the sheep's milk and the coof. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So you understand, Yannick? The racial issues is not only those who are beaten. It's in the word which are hidden in the narrative when they speak about us and the situation also.
Yeah.
And we all have something to do, you for your part, for your community, because you have to take a position, not even talking because you feel comfortable. I don't know how you do you're doing in your corner, but you know, when you only speak with those who can hear you, who are agree with you, you will not going, you know, so far. And you know what I love in my community today, so sometimes we accept to be agree in our disagree, because we have the same goal, and you all have to do the same sometimes, to be agree in the disagree.
Yeah. I agree with that.
So there's
He's
a
taking
lot of
notes.
racial issues which are hiding somewhere, not in the violence, the pure violence.
Yeah.
I know.
And as Black people, we are aware about all of this.
Of course.
And that's what I wanted to talk about today, you know, the you know, in a larger way. We are not also beaten. We are also treated, you know, by the government, by the media, by politicians, by writers, by philosophers, by a lot of people in the narrative nowadays. And, you know,
The philosopher.
yes.
Oh,
And they are still on television. I have no television anymore it's been many years now, you know.
Good things.
But I want to know. So you have an information, you have to take another one, cross it. Okay, I have the good one maybe, and I'm not sure. So yes, my determination today is, you know, the racial issue, in my opinion, started there is 10 years ago, really. So it getting high because, as I said, when you say about a group of people, yeah, they don't want to do this because of voodoo, and you know what you experience in your history, you know, you know now it's the time. Now, you know, it's a signal, something they send to you. Are you ready right now? But if you, as a white community, you just focus on, oh, someone has been beaten, he was black, or poor guy or poor woman, she's been treated, you know, and I'm not racist. We have to fight against this, and don't speak about black people like this, you know, just like you just focus on something, as we said, the iceberg, the top of the iceberg.
I know. I think it's in France. It's a system. There is you can you don't you can't access to tons of things, and I see that. I guess no.
It's system
I
is the
don't really agree. If you want to find something and you take the time to find what you want to find, you will. So that's why, I keep saying, white people can't do nothing for us. We are our responsibility as Black people is to go deeper, because it's for us to build something for us. It's not your responsibility, so you don't feel like you have to do this job deeper and deeper, because you have so many other things to do for you. Okay, so it may be enough for you just to have friends and to be aware about what's going on. It's sufficient for you. You have no goal to reach. You already have something. Your white privilege, just the fact that you are white, in a country where everyone are white. So racial issues, even if you can't feel how bad it is, how much it is an emergency for many people now to organize, to link, to unify. Because these words have been said, you're like, it's a question of voodoo. It didn't hurt my feeling, but it's like it wake up my blood when I heard that. My blood was just, I say, okay.
Yeah, because voodoo was a religion that was practiced in Africa.
Yes. And we say we are at war, in our mind. And I was like, maybe not only in our mind, because Caribbean are ready right now, as I'm speaking, to fight, physically. Right. Because they touch something to the history that we could not accept anymore. And maybe it's going to be the point, the starting point for the Black diaspora, here in France and in West Indies.
Yeah. So are there a lot of Black people in France or no?
We are less than 70% here in France. African, Comorian, Caribbean, from everywhere. So we are not a lot, but we are. But the difficulties for us is we have no community where we are all. We are the only community mixed with others. You can find the Chinese community in France. In Lyon, there is Arab community, but no community, Black community. You can see Black shops, in some streets, but no community for Black people. We didn't build non-community for us here in France.
That's the same as it is here.
That's worldwide.
They have Jewish. They have Chinese, they have everything. Everybody else has their own, but we're separated all over the place.
That's worldwide. We're taught that when we build a community, it's racist. Everybody else can build a community, it's fine, it's natural. But when we talk about community, we're called racist.
I know.
And that goes back to the Willie Lynch, that goes back to oppression, that goes back to the same techniques that have been used for the last 6,000 years.
Yeah. If we don't see each other.
The original beginning of the Caucasian man, he had teachings. He had a system that he was given to allow him to be able to conquer the world. And that system is still in effect after 6,000 years. It's been tweaked, but it's still in effect. And so there's nowhere that you can go. Here at one time, Washington, D.C. was called Chocolate City. That's where we one of the most Black, I guess most Black per person populated area in America. And we still don't have those things. You can go to Chinatown, you can go to Baltimore, to Italy town, you can, Italian town, you can do all those things, but there's no system. We are taught that whenever we start talking about doing stuff for ourselves, it is racist. And not only not only is it racist out of the eyes of the Caucasian, it's racist out of the eyes of the Black man to another Black man.
Yeah. Do you have Black suburb where there is only Black people who are living here? No.
Not nope, not
Yes.
here. Not in
Here
Kentucky.
we do. And
Yeah.
you can find that in Maryland and DC. You can find areas where it's pretty much only us.
Well, yeah, they do have the West End, I guess you would say that, but it's not a
Yeah,
suburb.
We have suburbs. You know, PG County is supposed to be the most wealthy black populated part in the whole country of America. Black people. Supposed to be the
Okay.
wealthiest. Supposed to be the wealthiest place in America for black people in the whole PG County.
Mm.
So you can't go to high-end suburban neighborhoods and stuff. But too often, what I find is that you find black people who don't have the mentality of blackness. Too often, when you find us as black people who have made it financially, we don't really have a concept of blackness. We have a concept of fitting in. That's why you have so many going back to the milk. That's why you have so many people that won't tell their jobs no to the milk. They'll take the milk for their jobs because it goes back to what you said earlier. You have black skin with white minds, which goes back to what I've been saying, which is the same thing, which is a white supremacy psychology, a white supremacy subconscious. And you have to break that. You have to break that whole mental state. Because it's worldwide. No matter where you go, it's the same. I've been to London. I've been to Ireland. It's the same.
See, I've never
You know,
been there.
I've been to Ghana. You know what I'm saying? I've been throughout America, and everywhere is the same. Everywhere is red line. You know, always been amazed. How is it that all the Africans move in this part? You go to Riverdale, you see a lot of Mexicans and Africans. Like they just pick to live with each other. No, it's red line.
Hmm.
It's a system that's been in effect that was taught over 6,000 years ago. And it's the same system that's been tweaked for 6,000 years. And we're not really dealing with the system. We try to break things down too independently. We try to make things too independent, you know, and that's another thing that destroys us. You know, we try to take it as even like when you had the foreclosure market, you know, and everybody was under foreclosure. Everybody looked at their foreclosures as just only their foreclosure instead of saying this is a group foreclosure. Why don't you get together as groups and pull your monies and rescue yourselves out of it? We look at too much stuff independently. But independent thought goes back to Willie Lynch. Remember what Willie Lynch said? You got to separate them. You got to make the dark not like the light. You got to make them not trust. It's still the same subconscious principle.
Yeah.
And until you love yourself, you can't love nobody else. Until you seek inside yourself, you don't realize that you don't love yourself. I hear so many people always talk. I say, man, it's about self-love. I love myself. Oh, do you? If you really love yourself,
Why
how
are
come
you
you live
eating
like you
Macbeth?
living? If you really love yourself, how come you living like you living? If you really
Why
love
you
yourself, how
eating
come you
Macbeth?
scared of the government? How come you scared of government? How come you scared of milk? If you really love yourself, why don't you do things to show self-love? And one of the greatest things of self-love is strength.
Yeah.
So we just, you know, there's so many things we gotta change.
Yeah.
So many
That's a
things
lot.
we gotta adjust to. I mean, we go back and look at Garvey. We ain't gotta go that far. We just go back to Marcus Garvey. Do for self.
Yeah.
You know, I was looking something earlier before we came on here. They say back in the early 1900s, we had 200 and some hospitals in America, black hospitals in America. 200 and some black hospitals in America. In 2021, we have 2 black hospitals in America. We went from 200 and some hospitals to 2 hospitals.
Something's not
Yeah,
right.
think about that. And think about the fact the pharmaceutical industry runs all the educational system. All of the medical colleges get their information from the pharmaceutical industry, which gets theirs from the insurance industry. So it's a monopoly. You know, just the simplest things. I mean, the simplest things. You know, I tell people sometimes, I say, we don't even have our own underwear factory. We don't even make our own
We sure
socks.
don't.
We don't even have a factory making socks. We control the rap industry, at least we was, and we don't even make CDs or DVDs. We have no form of self-love, self-worth. We talk good on a conscious level. On a subconscious level is what was really driving you. You know, that's why the Quran say, for the devil whispers in your ear and records with his slinkering self. So when you think you in charge of everything, you don't make changes.
Yeah.
We hate to be wrong. We hate to be wrong. Oh my God.
I
What the
sure
Bible
do.
says,
I
so
hate
easy to lead in wrong direction, so hard to lead in right direction. We hate to be wrong.
I'm guilty of that. Look, I hate being wrong.
But how can we grow? How can we grow? Go in the corner and cry for a little while and get your shit together and come on back out and do what you got to do. Man up, woman up.
Man up.
That's right. Because you know what I found out, I read a long time ago, the bulk of the problem, we're adult children. We are adult children. We are physically adults and mentally children. Because adult controls their destiny. You cannot be considered as a man without controlling your destiny. That's why the man and woman has so much problem in today's society. Because a woman's hard to look up to a man, submit to a man, because the man's not dictating his own destiny. That's because we are adult children. We have become that we are really adult children. We allow the government to tell us to put a mask on. That makes no sense to put a mask on. It really doesn't. It serves no purpose. Unless you're going to put a whole plastic suit on to go outside. Really, nothing else serves a purpose. It really is a waste of time.
It's supposed to protect you from the sheep's milk.
Yeah, nobody's talking about vitamins or nutrition. Nobody's talking about diet.
Oh, you can't talk about that no more either.
Nobody's talking about anything of goodness. But as an adult child, you do what children do. What the Bible say, when I was a child, I thought as one, and now I'm becoming an adult, I'm starting to think as one as well. Right. We think like children. But ain't that what a slave does? The slave thinks like a child. He told what to do. A slave ain't used to thinking. Is we sick, master? See, slave ain't used to thinking for self. Slaves used to be told what to do. Is we sick, master? Right, is we hungry, master? Is we happy, master? Because he can't think for himself. She can't think for herself.
It says that in this book right here.
We need to wake up. We need to wake up.
Well, let me cut you for 1 second. Yannick, I know you said you could only stay for an hour. So do you have to go? Because it's been like almost 2 hours.
Yeah, I have my kids to take care.
Okay. Well, I don't want to keep you. Yeah. I don't want to keep you. I know once Saeed starts talking, he won't stop. Look.
I understand. I'm a single person.
Let me cut him for a minute because he's about to go into something, and then Yannick will be on here another hour.
Yeah.
You can click. You want me to click you up, but I want to thank you for coming on here and talking with us. I appreciate you, friend.
Yeah. But it's great talking to you. It was awesome.
All right. Well, we'll do it again sometime in the future.
Okay. Why not?
All right.
I wish you good luck.
What?
Yeah, enjoy the time with your kids.
I said I wish you good luck.
Yeah, good luck too. Maybe
no,
we'll
I don't need luck.
What?
I don't need luck.
Okay.
But thank you.
You're in Lyon?
Near Lyon, yes.
Okay. I went for work there. But I don't really go very often there. Okay.
All right.
Take care, everybody. Thanks for the invitation.
No problem. Sir. Thank you for coming on, Yannick. You have a good day.
It was nice talking to you.
You too.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.
All right. I'll X you out if I can. Let's see.
Okay.
All right. He's gone. Look, I don't know how to work this for real, so I was trying to get him off. Let's see if I can switch us up. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Let's do it like that.
That's cool. The queen's on top. The queen's on top. That's what that's right.
Yeah, that way we can
queen's on top.
Give you the sheep's milk from up here. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah.
Now look, they don't want you talking about vitamins or anything on here anymore. They'll cut your video for that, like trying to tell people to take
Yes.
stuff. You know what I'm saying? They'll cut your video now for that.
All right. Glad you said something, because
don't start. So you're gonna have to make up some names for that.
What I will say is that health is wealth.
Yeah,
health is wealth. Yeah, health is wealth. And so you should research your health. And there's many great
Where's that
scholars.
comment at? Let me find it again.
Many great scholars that have much information. Yeah, don't drink that milk, that's for sure.
I will
never, many great scholars that I would say that people need to be researching now. Many great books out here. People need to be researching now to do things to make health go well.
Oh, I've got that one book here.
Excuse me, I have to let you guys too because. Oh yes.
Yes.
This
Dr. Ashford.
Great.
Dr. Layla Africa. Incredible.
Yeah. Oh, you have to go,
Um,
Sabrina?
Yes, because I have my nephew at home
Oh,
with
okay.
my
That's
kids.
okay. We're probably about to
So
end it anyways. We've been on here for an hour and 44 minutes. I think we've discussed a lot.
yeah.
I like to make I like to discuss a little 1 minute thing before we close out. Whenever you get ready, please.
Okay. Go ahead.
Please, everybody start prepping. Start getting your food together. Start getting dry goods, canned goods, and dehydrated goods. Start stocking now. You should have a minimum of 3 months is your goal. Many say 6 months. One of the oldest teachers that we have, been teaching since 1930, said we should have 6 months worth reserves. So you definitely want to have your food, you want to have your water, and you want to start stocking antibiotics. You want to start stocking as much of those type of things that you can at this point. I know many of us is late, but we need to start working on it. If you're somewhere you can, stock ammo and guns, protection, knives, bow and arrows, whatever you have, because if you get food and you get water, you have to be able to keep your food and keep your water. We're coming into days that these things will be beneficial. We can't just talk and read. We have to be prepared. You know, you need to have 1 gallon per person in your household per day, because that gallon of water is going to be used for more than just food. It's going to be used to brush your teeth. It's going to be used to wash up. It's going to be used to drink, to keep you hydrated. So you should try to have 1 gallon of water per day, per person, for 3 months, or a water system. If you live near water, like I live near water, you need to have some type of filtration system, rainwater, whatever it takes, because we're coming into days that are going to be extreme. They say these days are coming that are going to be so shocking, it's going to turn a kid's hair gray. We haven't even got started on what the wrath of the Creator is coming. If you look in the Bible, look in the Quran, you look at all those days, every 2,000 years, God did massive destruction. Well, we're at a 2,000 year period now. 6,000 years ago was Abraham, 4,000 years ago was Moses, 2,000 years ago was Jesus. Now it's us. We're in a biblical historical time. Something is coming. We all know something's coming. We might can't put our finger on it. We might don't know, like some of the people who are close in nature. Some of our brothers and sisters are close in nature. They do have ideas of what's coming. So be prepared. Because one of the worst things that we can do is to watch our child starve to death. One of the worst things we can do is to watch our loved ones starve, watch our loved ones die because we didn't prepare. And it's not that hard. No, don't get your nails done. Don't go to the barber shop. Don't go to the movies. Don't do certain things. Cut back a little bit. We don't need to be doing those things anyway now because of the goof and the sheep's milk. So, yes, get your water, get your food. Dehydrated food is at the top of the list because it's lighter. We ain't talking about frozen food because you may not have electric. We're talking about a way to be able to survive. We need to be fasting, practicing fasting, even with your children. Have them to learn how to fast. Have them to learn how to eat less. You need to train your children in everything you're reading, everything you're knowing. You need to tell them they are little adults. Their spirits could be older than your spirit. We don't have to think that they're children. We can't talk to them. This is where the days we're in. We need to be training. Work out, exercise, walk, run, do push-ups. Whatever you have to go a mile or 2 miles to get some food for your child, and you can't even make it. Just become serious about this and stop being on emotions. Emotions mean nothing. You know, emotions do nothing for you. Who cares how you feel? I don't care how you feel. You have to get up and do something. So just do something. Just prepare. Start to link up with like minds. You can't do it by yourself. Link up with like minds in your area. You cannot do it by yourself. Many of us are not going to be able to leave where we are to go to Africa. Many of us not going to be there because the milk and the not taking the milk are not going to allow you to travel. So you got to link up and make it the best that you have right now. You know, so we have to work on these things now. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now.
Now.
Yes. And that's a man talking to the queen. Before white people conquered us, the queens were the rulers. You know, the queens were the thought. What does the Bible say? The woman is the man's helpmeet. Helpmeet what? Help meet his responsibility to God to till the earth. What that mean? To fight and stand up for righteousness. But she was his conscience. She's his thought. She's his counsel. And he's her shield. So let's get back to that. It's rise. It's stand.
Do you want to give your information? Somebody's asking for your information in the chat. Saeed.
You can find me on Instagram at
I'll type it in the chat. Listen.
yes, you can find me on Instagram. I don't have a YouTube yet. It'll be coming soon.
Isn't it? Is it capital G or is it lowercase?
Lowercase.
Is there an underscore?
Yes.
Is it? Look, I don't even know. I'm over
Great
here like I'm
underscore
typing.
side. Great underscore side.
Okay, wait a minute.
And they can also go to Deaf Angels, DEAF Angels Book Club on IG, where we share, trying to figure out how we can find that love, how we can find that inner peace. Because you're not going to do it by yourself. I don't care how much you pray. See, God bless the child has his own. And one work is worth 10 prayers. So praying ain't going to get you there. Praying going to get the energy to get off your ass to go get yourself there. So just get off our asses and do what we have to do and get us there. For all the men here and all the men who hear these words, man, find some sisters and let them know that you got them. Let them know that you're going to die for them. Let them know that you're going to stand for them. Period.
Both.
You know?
Both.
Do you want to do you want to say anything, Sabrina, before we go?
No, I said queens too, not only kings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Both.
Yes.
Both.
Yes. We're in
Do
a
you
war.
want to give out your information, Sabrina, or no?
I don't have a YouTube channel. I have a page, Sabrina_Solitude.
Okay, let me put it in here.
And thank you, Queens, for allowing me to talk.
Is that
Thanks,
right? Look, I
Queens,
just put it in there.
for feeding the energy that y'all feeding. Because it's men out here that are real men. It's men out here that are real soldiers. And so often we are battered and abused by society. Because remember, there's a word called gentleman. And what I've learned, that word gentleman is missing the I. Because you take and you say Gentile man. So if you're a Gentile man or a white active man, you consider this a gentleman. And I can't be that. I can't be a white active man. Because I'm a soldier. I'm a king. I'm a ruler. And when I find sisters that stand up, and it feeds me to keep me able to keep going. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you both for coming on.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you to keep building that bridge between us, crossing the frontiers. I'm from France, you're from another place. So we can continue to share this love and the strength. And as you said, to prepare ourselves for the next step, because it's right now. Yes. And we have to be ready. And I will say more, to learn how to connect people without a phone too. How you're going to reach to someone you want to talk if you don't have a phone.
I know, man. That's what I'm like. What are we going to do? Because it's coming.
It's coming.
I'm going to have to give me a radio.
Yes.
I'm going to have to get a CDs.
Yes.
And for your closer one, find a code. When you
find
want to communicate, a code. When you want to communicate, the closer one, a code.
Okay,
So,
so I've got I put your IG up there, and I put yours, and
Thank
it's all
you.
in the chat.
So I'm going to let you. I love you. I love you all, my family.
We love you too. Thank you for coming on, Sabrina. And people are
Okay,
saying
thank
thank you to you.
Stay
Thank you.
blessed. Stay dangerous, all of you.
All right. I'll click you off. All right.
We're gonna stay
No,
dangerous.
oh my goodness. Ice,
We're definitely
come
gonna stay
on.
dangerous. That's
Yeah.
without a doubt. We're gonna stay
Bye.
dangerous.
Thank you. Bye.
Yes, we are.
All right. Okay, so we're gonna go on and end it. Thanks for tuning in. Unless you have more to talk about, Saeed.
Nah, I'm pretty I got work to do for the lives on the IG that we got to work on for hopefully
Oh
tomorrow.
yeah.
I haven't been on there for a
Okay.
while, so I need to get that together and do some other little studying as well.
Right.
But I definitely appreciate you opening up your page and actually risking your page to bring real truth. And I respect
Yeah, I know they're gonna shut me down. Look.
but no matter what
I think
happens,
we did good.
no matter what happens is I'm gonna always keep my promise to you.
Right.
That's at the end of the day, And for
Yeah.
all the kings and queens out there, man, keep reading, keep studying, man. Build your books, man. You selling books in the background. You got to build your books. You got to study. You got to hold those books. You know what I mean? Because one day might not be no internet, might not be no phone. We're gonna need that knowledge to keep growing. We need our
We'll
skills.
get you some CDs.
Yeah.
And where's that comment at? I'm gonna keep highlighting this comment because where is it at? Here it is. Everybody, don't drink the milk.
And I pray for all of the brothers and sisters that have taken the kuf or got the kuf milk, and I pray for you. I pray that somewhere down the line that there's a way to erase that choice. I pray that you wake up and you find God, you find truth. I really do. I pray that you don't just talk about it, but you be about it, because knowledge is not power until it's put into use. You can read all the books you want, you can do anything you want to do, but until you put it into use, it's not power. People say the kids are the future. Why can the kid be the future when we taking care of them?
Right.
Some of the sayings we have don't make sense. Just apply the knowledge. It's not just have it, just apply it. Just keep growing. Just understand that we are being attacked. We've been attacked, and we need to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Facts.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is.
All right, cool. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining in. And thanks, Saeed, for coming on. I'm going to end this.
Yes.
All right. Peace. All right. All right. Peace, everybody. Thanks for joining the live. Please like, share, subscribe. I will have more lives like this probably in the future. I don't usually do lives like this, but a couple of my friends asked to come on, so I wanted to give them a platform to do it. And so I will be doing another live eventually to show the books, some more books that I've gotten. But other than that, stay blessed and peace to the chat and have a good day.